Hello and welcome along to another episode and a new weekend from this mini FM21 series, Saving Spurs with me, Daniel. We're back after the first season relegation and we're currently trying to win the championship, which looks like it's on course, but also try and get into Europe for either the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup. So far, we've reached the Carabao Cup quarter-final and we will be up against Sean Dyche's Burnley today, a side that have flown in the top half of the Premier League last season and look very good again this time around. We'll also try and sneak in the Watford game so we get a little bit of championship action too. So if you're looking forward to that and you are enjoying the series, please do chuck a thumbs up on it. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 content. We've got weekday episodes from our Builder Nation with Bangor City and weekend episodes from this one too. There's a link to the Twitch channel up in the eye above for regular live streams and football watch-alongs, and there's a link to the football podcast with championship content galore too. So thank you for your incredible support as we come back for big games. The Carabao Cup quarter-final means we're not far away. Of course, we saw there was an all-championship quarter-final too between Brentford and Preston. That could be an opportunity to reach the final. But let's very quickly go through the schedule to see what we've been doing since you were last with me. We won 4-1 away at Stoke. You can see we have dropped 2 points a bit later on as well. Son, Kane, Lucas Moura and Højbjerg with the goals there. A 2-1 win against Blackburn, Dele Alli with a 90th minute winner. A 6-1 win away at Wigan as we regrouped after the international break. 2 for Ali, 2 for Bakayoko, 1 each for Dyer and Son. A 4-0 win at home to West Ham, 2 for Kane who returned from injury, 1 for Son who got injured and 1 for Lo Celso as well. Then the 2-2 draw at QPR, we threw it away from 2 up at half time. Lo Celso and Bergwijn got our goals there. Fortunate 2-1 wins followed, first away at Ipswich, Kane and Ali with the goals, then at home to Middlesbrough with the same score as the opposite way round, then a 1-0 win at home to Sheffield Wednesday with Harry Kane having to come off the bench to save us. We did rest our team in that one ahead of this midweek cup tie, but to be fair, you can see we're not really winning games at a canter here. Yes, the Wigan game and the West Ham game surprisingly were, but the rest of them have all been by 1 or 2 goals. It's been a really tough season for us. And even defensively now we're starting to crack. So if we play like that against Burnley, we will be in big trouble. They're 11th in the Premier League. They finished 8th last year. Dwight McNeil is very close to being a world-class player now, and one I'd definitely love to sign if we go up. But we've got a lot of work to do before that. We want to get into Europe. Manchester United are playing Aston Villa in the other game. But let's see how we get on against Premier League Burnley. And this is the slight gamble of an 11 I've gone for. We've got Sanchez with a slight knock, but it was only a gash. It wasn't a muscle pull or anything like that. So I'm hoping he'll be alright. The rest of the 11 virtually picks itself, although Son is only just back from injury. We're without Lo Celso, we're without Lucas Moura. We've been a little depleted both at the back and going forward in recent games. And maybe that explains the closer results than normal. Though we should be dominating, it's fair to say. We've gone back to the slightly more direct style of play as well, because the short passing, we're having so many chances and not winning matches. I had to go back. We've got Donnarumma between the sticks though. He is developing nicely. Reguilon and Doherty the fullbacks with Dyer and Sanchez at centre-half. Højbjerg and Ndombele in centre midfield with Dele Alli just ahead of them. And then Bergwijn and Son on the wings behind Harry Kane up front. Can we get the win against Burnley to get through to the semi-finals? And from there, just 2 rounds away from being back in European football. It's a massive ask. It's a massive test. We're miles clear in the Championship. So this is almost our sole focus. Let's hope we come out on top. A good side for Burnley today. You can see McNeil's there. Nick Pope and James Tarkowski both been in England squads as well. They've got Conor Gallagher and Lys Mousset in the starting 11 as well. So a lot of very good players. Matty Cash from Villa I've just spotted too. We should still be favourites, but it's a very tough test and they're playing regularly at a higher level against better opposition. We've slipped into a few bad habits. We need to get rid of them today. As Ndombele picks the ball up with 8 minutes gone, well inside the Burnley half, but you feel like we need an early opening, and not that. Ndombele gives possession away to Gallagher, laid into Lys Mousset, not good enough at the back. We're so lackadaisical and complacent. It's happened so many times this year, and I don't know how many occasions I've had to use those words on. It's terrifying, really. The Spurs mentality is showing why they got relegated last year. We've not dominated most championship games. And at times we've struggled our way to draws and victories. As Højbjerg gets the ball to Bergwijn, aimless hoof, but Kane gets on the end of it. Finds Dele Alli, who switches to Son. Back in the side and he needs to be back in form. Goes 40 yards back to Ndombele. That's not the way we want to play. It's back out to Son again though. Gets into the box, has to shoot. Basically a back pass. It's straight at Nick Pope. I'm finding this save really frustrating, despite of course going top of the championship by a mile. The way we've played and the way we've struggled, I found really hard to accept. And it has frustrated me a huge amount. And maybe it's having no reputation as a manager. Leaves Moussa in one-on-one again. Good save by Donnarumma. Stood big and strong there to stop the opportunity. But Burnley, you could argue, have had the best chance of the match. And how that's not gone down as a shot on target, I'm not quite sure. Davinson Sanchez, the gamble did not work out. He will be replaced by Juan Foyth at centre-half. I'm opting for him over Tanganga because he's better defensively. Well, to be fair in this game, we've not seen it in the highlights, but we have dominated the stats apparently. Højbjerg picks the ball up from Dyer's knockdown. He plays it up to Harry Kane. Can we just get that goal, break the shackles and really start to show some confidence? Dele Alli in behind, it's blocked back to Son. Oh, he's blazed it wide. It was a great opportunity in acres of space. And Son's made an absolute hash of that. Apparently Burnley have had no shot on target, even though we've watched one. And we've dominated this match without creating anything special. As Cash throws in on the right, it'd be an awful time to concede. Dwight McNeil at the back post. He's offside, thankfully, and blazes it over the bar. But that was a very good opportunity. Let's go and get into the second half. Tell the lads to prove a point. We just need a reaction. I feel like everything's stuck in second gear. I'm finding it hard to get the best out of this team. And I know it is our reputation. And I know that it's a lot of people who are unhappy due to the relegation. And perhaps it's the negative of keeping those who were a bit unhappy about. But I would expect more. As Bergwijn nicks it, Dele Alli plays into Kane. Son Heung-min's missed another. Utterly ridiculous how many great chances he's let go. He's got a corner kick to take now. We just need to get the goal. The same as the City match. When we scored, we looked very good. Albeit against their reserves and third team. Voigt gets the ball on the left-hand side. Back to Ndombele. Chips it forward, but the highlight ends as we're putting them through one-on-one. It's a very bizarre match. An hour gone, and we've got nothing to show for our dominance on the stats. As Reguilon plays into Son Heung-min, and now Højbjerg. Up to Dele Alli. He's got support, but instead plays sideways. Still keeps possession though. Overlap on the right, but then goes back to Doherty on halfway. Play forward, show some ambition. Doherty gets the ball into Højbjerg. Bergwijn over the bar, but we're playing in front of them. They're half chances rather than anything clear cut. It's a difficult one to take this. Taylor throws into McNeil. Back to the left back who plays into his winger again. Not really going anywhere here, Burnley. We're forcing them long. But that ball straight into Wood. The whole team's left him unmarked. It's blocked back to Moussa. He finds Jack Cork. Cork goes wide to Goodmanson. Through to Wood. Into the box. Goes back to Cash on the wing. In towards Wood again. Header over the bar. I can just tell this is the type of game that we're going to go and lose 1-0. It's been a really infuriating performance. I'm going to take Son off for Sessegnon because he's knackered. It's his first game back. We'll leave Sessegnon as a winger on support. And Ndombele's been the worst performer. So I'm going to put on Harry Winks. I'm just seeing tactically. I've got it on work ball into the box. So we should be creating good chances. We're just not seeing them. I don't know if we really want to keep the ball anymore. Now we've got two quick wingers on. I think we have to stick with what we've got. And just hope that this dominance is going to pay in the end. Though it says it on the stats, I've seen no evidence in the game to suggest it. The best chances have been Burnley's. Just over 10 minutes to go. It's becoming a really difficult night, this. We're going to demand more, but I think we're going to penalties. And this is where it becomes a lottery. Because the attributes, yes, will be better on our front. But they mean nothing. As with 1.5 minutes to go, Højbjerg's got a corner. Headed away as far as Sessegnon. We're probably not going to be beating Burnley on set pieces, are we? Doherty on halfway again. Love a late winner in this one. We've deserved it over the course of play, according to everything bar what we've seen on the screen. As Bergwijn beats his man on the right. 3 in the box if he can find them. Gets to the byline. Doesn't even beat the first man. Back to Dyer again. To Bergwijn again. Can you please get the cross into the box? Beats his man this time. Then checks back again. Gets it in though. Sessegnon down to Kane. 90th minute winner for Harry Kane. That's what we've been waiting for. Burnley 0, Spurs 1. Sessegnon shot was blocked. Kane gets there at an acute angle. And he beats his international teammate Nick Pope to make it 1-0 in the 90th minute. 3 minutes of stoppage time. We're back for the centre kick. Imagine if we still threw it away. Kane plays into Bergwijn. It could open the floodgates. We could nick a second now. Here's Harry Winks to Dele to Kane. Back to Højbjerg again, sorry. He's given it away with a 5-yard pass. Woods chipped it up to Cash. With 2-on-2, Dyer's been skinned. Don't you dare. Donnarumma palms it down. Nearly made a howler. but he kept it out, and that's all that matters at the moment. And after this game, we're now seeing everything in stoppage time. Sessegnon into the box. Picks it up, beats Cork. Can he get the ball across the box? No. Back to Reguilon. He does cross. Bergwijn's at the back post. Heads it over the bar. I'm sorry. I'm going to time waste him because we've looked so ropey at the back. And I tell you what, if we do go up, and whether I continue this save on or off camera, my first port of call will be a big centre-half, a right back for Doherty, and then maybe another bit of depth in midfield, because we've been all over the shop. Nick Pope with a goal kick, as we're still seeing the highlights. Winks heads away to Sessegnon. Please just put me at ease. It's been such a hard watch, this. Sessegnon on the left-hand side. Gets the cross into the box. Nick Pope gathers it. And they're going to get one last attack. There has been no game management. There has been no sensible mentality. And even now, with the time wasting on, with the discipline on, we're just flying down the line, committing men forward, and then giving the ball back to the keeper. This is a long kick downfield which Sessegnon will take. This is agonising to watch. Mousse flicks on. Cash is there, but Doherty intercepts. Foyth back to Donnarumma, who just hoofs it. And it's out for a throw on the left. Please let that be it. Gotta be the 93 minutes up. It is. Does the final whistle go? It finally does. 1-0 Tottenham Hotspur. We were the better team on the stats, but we made much harder work of that than we should. We're almost up to 12 minutes, so we better crack on. We'll be back in a minute for Watford in the Championship. Well, quickly, the semi-final draw for the Carabao Cup. Is it going to be our lucky day? There's Championship Brentford left, or United or Chelsea. Let's see who we get. Brentford out first. Please be Tottenham. It's Chelsea, which means we will be facing Manchester United over 2 legs for a place in the final. They're top of the Premier League, having finished third last year. Just want to see who they've bought in. Is there any superstar coming in? Oh, they've bought a fair few players. Sabitzer among them, Barbosa. That is a very good football team. And last season we haven't even looked at. 140 million spent. Oh, and they've got my head coach nemesis, Viktor Siganov. Fantastic. We'll be back in a minute for Watford though. Not the draw we wanted. Well, back to face Watford, and mercifully we've got 8 days off after this. So Kane and some of the other internationals straight on holiday for a week. Lo Celso and Bakayoko are fit. Lucas Moura is not. The Davinson Sanchez injury in the last game, by the way, we took a gamble playing him with a slightly gashed leg. He's now torn his hamstring, so I don't think we can blame it on that. 2 months out for him. I might have to dip in the market and get a centre-half in January because our backups just aren't good enough. So Emerson comes in at right back, Bakayoko in the middle. I think they're the only 2 changes. Oh, and Tanganga at centre-half. There you go. I should use this screen more often, really. 3 changes from the win at Burnley in the Carabao Cup. Watford, one of the better sides on paper in the Championship. But can they deliver that test today? Troy Deeney still up front. João Pedro, the wonder kid. Shalabar in midfield. It's a very good side. Let's see how we cope with it, though. As we go away from home, where we have been a little bit better most of the time recently. We need Harry Kane to have his scoring boots on, though. Well, started very badly. We're behind on the stats as we play out from the back with Donnarumma to Dyer. Bakayoko playing a bit risky there. And it works its way out to Ndombele. We're just a little bit lazy in possession. I've said it nearly every episode, but we get caught an awful lot as Son's playing down the left. And I'm not playing low tempo or anything like that. As Son there, caught in possession, just took too long, wanted the extra touch. Tanganga gets it away though to Ndombele. Now Bakayoko. Got a man over on the right in Bergwijn. Takes on his fullback. Can he get the cross in? He can't. He's challenged. He took too long. They're obsessed with taking 100 touches here. I haven't got run at defence on. I've got a higher tempo on. I've even asked them to hit early crosses at times, and it's made no difference whatsoever. João Pedro runs down the other end to Dolan and Deeney, and Timothy Weir in for 1-0. And this is what I find frustrating. Because I guess I'm a low reputation manager, because these players, I assume, think they know so much better. That led them to finish bottom in the league last year, but they think they know so much better that they just completely ignore the tactical instructions. Look, we're trying to, slightly higher tempo, get the ball into the box. I know there are other instructions I could put on that would make it more likely that they just cross it early, but that should be enough. Bergwijn's now picked up a knock. Son will switch to the right. We're going to put Dele Alli on the left, and we're going to put Lo Celso in the middle. Because when we had our best spell of the season, that's what we looked like. So with Lo Celso back from injury, let's give it a try. Well, I was about to say, look at those stats as we approach half-time. But now, Watford have hit the bar again, and now it's in for 2. This is woeful. Genuinely woeful. I've never been 11 points clear in a league before, and so angry. It's genuinely blowing my mind how badly we're playing. Emerson gets it on the right to Bakayoko, and I know I haven't helped myself by going in with no badges, no experience, none of that. But the fact they're flagrantly ignoring it when they've managed to finish bottom last season in the Premier League is hilarious. João Pedro's in again, it could be 3. Donnarumma has to save the day. With 2 minutes to half time, just look at those stats. No shots on target, Watford dominant. And you could argue the only crime is that it's only 2-0. So we are going to throw the water bottle, ask them to stop letting themselves down. I don't care that they're unhappy. We're going to change the tactic completely. I'll be back in a minute. Right, we are moving to what I'm trialling as Operation Throw the Kitchen Sink. Kane and Son up front, Lo Celso in behind, Ali not far behind that. Let's go for it. We've got 4 players attacking the box, flying wing-backs. We've got to do something to change the game. I think this might be the angriest I've been in FM21. Go back and tell me if any other episode in any of the series have I been this frustrated. We are 11 points clear. Thankfully, it's not going to be costly. But those of you at the start who were talking about disappointment if we weren't invincible at the end, well, colour yourself disappointed already because we've lost 2, we've drawn 1, and if it wasn't for a few last-minute winners, it could have been a lot worse. Dele's been poor in the box-to-box, but I've got no subs left, so Parrott's on for Son, who looks like a championship player at the moment, and we've got half an hour. We're going to go attacking, we're going to try and save the game, but the only thing that I've seen as likely at the minute is to concede a 3rd. And we still haven't had a single shot on target. Embarrassing. As we're back with 15 minutes to go, Tanganga picks the ball up at centre-half. I've gone to shorter passing as we move to the 3-5-2. And what does he do? 50-yard hoof downfield straight to the centre-half. I cannot explain what I'm watching because everything that's listed on the tactical screen is the complete opposite of what I'm watching here. And I'm used to teams late in the banger save, what we created at Wigan, what we created at Dundee United, what we've created at Ballymena. All of those saves, I'm so used to the players playing perfectly to our tactic and that being what's so crucial for us. Kane gets our first shot on target of the match. It's straight at the goalkeeper though. Great finishing from the England centre-forward. And that corner, although it does eventually reach the back post, is lost out in the air by Kane. Lo Celso into the box, challenged by João Pedro. It's out for a throw-in. We're going to lose this game, and it's utterly, thoroughly deserved. 2 minutes of stoppage time up, a 2-0 defeat. What can you say? We're going to get some of these boys on holiday afterwards because they are shattered and it will help. But another injury with Bergwijn. I've got to go and get a centre-half in the transfer window, and I really didn't think I'd need to do that this year. Let's have a very quick look at the schedule. We're going to come back for the second leg of the United semi-final. That towards the end of the transfer window. Hopefully we'll have a little bit of news there as well. Huddersfield, our opponents in the 3rd round of the FA Cup, should be a win against a mid-table championship team. But it's going to be a tough test against United. And if we play like we did in those 2 games, we're going to be in big, big trouble. If you want to find out what we can do any better though, please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. I hope you enjoyed seeing us struggle. And I'm sure those of you who tried this save earlier in the year didn't have the same problems I am. If you want to stay up to date, subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. This one will be back tomorrow at midday before our Banger City Builder Nation returns for the week. And you can catch up with all the other playlists and the podcast channel and the live streams on Twitch up in the eye above. But a massive thank you for watching, your continued support as always. It is greatly appreciated. And I'll see you next time for the big semi-final and hopefully some much needed transfer work too. Thanks for watching.